everybody. Wow, what a great day it is today.
And welcome to the Culinary View. We're excited to share our ingredient of the month this month in the Vineyard District here. And as you know, we have a site where we have recipes and we have articles for the growing of the herb or the vegetable or the fruit done by MacLeod on our website at www.mer-bon.com, merbon.com. And we'll hope you'll enjoy that and use it as a resource.
And we want them to subscribe, right?
Yes.
And become part of our Merbon family with all the great tips we provide.
We do have a newsletter that goes out every month, and it's got links to the different ingredients, the recipes, and the article by MacLeod, plus a lot of other information as well about events and such that are here at Messina Hoff.
And we talk about how to grow things.
Yes.
And how to cook with wine and food and how the food and wine experience is all about.
Yes.
And a couple of other tips that are worthwhile. After 47 years of marriage, we've learned a few things.
Well, we look forward to sharing them with you. And today, for this month, we're talking about the bay leaf or the bay laurel. And you see I have one here with me. It's actually like a tree. It will grow into a tree or a shrub, as depending on how you prune it. But these leaves are excellent in seasoning dishes. And you most commonly see them in soups and stews, sauces. I always include them in all of my sauces that we make here. And the recipe is really interesting. You'll have to check it out because it is actually used in a dessert. Chef Zeke at the Vintage House created a really unique recipe using bay laurel leaf.
Okay, what kind of a dessert?
I think it's a panna cotta, which is a cream-based dessert, and he uses the bay leaf as part of his seasoning.
And it grows really well. The main thing you've got to keep in mind is if it's really going to get cold, like down into the 20s, the plant doesn't do that well. So you really need to be able to protect it. We had one for 10 years, and it grew to about 5 feet. It was a huge little tree. And unfortunately, we thought it would be just fine when we had that vortex, and the vortex kind of killed it. So that's why we're starting over with a new bay leaf, and this time we're going to be a little bit more protective of it.
And you can use it fresh, plucked right from the tree, or you can use it dried. And actually, when that tree did die, we harvested all the leaves off of it, and we're able to use them in our season.
I mean, we still have a supply of leaves. I mean, it's amazing. That was a beautiful tree.
And I think the other thing to know is that the bay leaf adds a flavor component of something kind of earthy, a little bit woodsy, almost a kind of a pine fragrance to the things that you add it to. So I use it also in making my stocks, whether it's leek stock, chicken stock. I always put bay leaves in my stocks as well. And it adds a really depth of flavor and aromatics.
So the wines that we're going to be talking about this week are Trebbiano. Trebbiano, the 2023 Trebbiano is exquisite. It's a lovely, lovely wine. Trebbiano is probably one of the most planted white grapes in Italy. In France, it's called Uni Blanc, but in Italy, it's Trebbiano. It is extremely productive. You really have to watch it. Otherwise, it'll produce as much as 12 tons to the acre. We try to keep it to 4. This way, it still has that lovely crispness to it. And this is a lovely, dry, white wine. It's savory. It really is savory. And it goes so well with soups and chicken dishes and even some seafood dishes, especially ones with a little bit of cream sauce. Really goes really well because the acidity in the Trebbiano kind of cuts through some of the fat, and it allows the food and wine experience to be fantastic.
One of the things I love about Trebbiano is that it is such an easy wine to pair food with. And we talk about red wines with red meats and white wines with white meats. Trebbiano is one of those white wines that can be paired with red meat because it has those this kind of fat. Well, I'll use the word fat. Doesn't mean fat, but it means that it's very mellow and it's kind of soft on the finish, and it goes really well with those red meat products. And because of the acidity that Paul was mentioning, it cuts through the fat.
Absolutely. And the thing that's beautiful about Trebbiano, when you pick it, it has almost a golden color to the skin, and that golden color bleeds out into the wine itself. So you wind up having a almost a golden color. It smells lovely. You know, Trebbiano can even be aged in oak. And when you do that, it almost has a Chardonnay character.
Right, which is also another component that makes it pair with heavier meats, because we talk about that, how to make the wine sing. So when you're pairing it with heavier meats and you have something that has some oak aging to it, then it adds a hint of tannin that helps to balance those other heavier meat products.
So Trebbiano is a great wine for Texas. It grows extremely well, especially if you can keep the tonnage down to a more tolerable 4 to 5 tons to the acre. And it really goes really well with so many different types of food. So it's a really lovely, lovely wine for Texas. The next one that we want to talk about is the Bonarigo Heritage Red. And this one is a blend of Sagrantino, Primitivo, and Sangiovese. So it really incorporates all of the great Italian varietals that we can grow in Texas. And the color on this particular wine is just beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. It has that rustic aroma that you pick up from from the Sangiovese, and it also has that real rich tannin from the Sagrantino. So it's a lovely combination of blending. And Paul Mitchell, our son, the winemaker here at Messina Hoff, has done an extraordinary job with these Bonarigo Heritage red wines.
We're excited for him. And also you see that Paul found for me a Bonarigo Reserve shirt.
The whole family has these shirts. It's amazing.
It's celebration of the Bonarigo wine line. And I will also add that as far as the bay leaf goes, the bay leaf in, for instance, a white meat dish adds a texture of tannin, that earthy character, that little woodsy that I was talking about, that actually makes it help pair with a big red wine like this Bonarigo Red.
And we use bay leaves a lot in our pasta sauce. It really complements it. As a matter of fact, growing up with a Sicilian grandmother, I never saw a sauce that didn't have bay leaf in it. I mean, she loved using bay leaf in the pasta sauce. It was a ragu pasta sauce, and it was just kind of the normal Sunday meal at the Bonarigo house.
Now, you don't eat the bay leaf, so I usually put them in whole into the sauce as it's cooking, or the soup, or whatever I'm preparing. And then at the end, I remove the bay leaves because the flavor has been extracted, but you don't have this really kind of bitter, crispy character that the bay leaf gives when we try to eat it.
Kind of gets stuck in your teeth a little bit, you know? Yeah. So on behalf of everyone here at Messina Hoff, Merrill and I, we want to wish you a fantastic 2025, and God bless you all.
God bless.
Take care.